sip and say, Kauffie. Kauffie company. Yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's the Kauffie company. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. It's the Kauffie company. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Kauffie.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill. That is the Kauffie Company. It is Tuesday, the 3rd of February, and it is a relatively rainy 5 degrees, but feels like 1. So it feels like it's going to rain all day. It is going to rain all day. It is miserable. It's going to rain all day long. What a terrible day to be alive. But we've been trying to do some work today. And what's it called? The show is called Rejection because, of course, the amount of emails I've sent out to people to try and get them to buy my coffee is insane. But none of them want to buy it. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to be a small business person. It's very difficult to be an entrepreneur. But we're trying to do our best. We're trying to do our best. So if anyone has any friends of any coffee shops in your nearby area, please recommend us. Recommend us to all your local coffee shops. And maybe one day the coffee company will be able to be a decent coffee company. But without further ado, we're going to chill out. I have put some clickbait in the title because why not? Transfer deadline ended yesterday. It ended yesterday, and this, I would say, is possibly the worst transfer window in the history of ENIC. I think it's the worst, and I even think it's worse than the year we didn't sign anyone. Because we had a team then, because it's contextual, isn't it? It's contextual. We didn't really need players. We needed backups, because players getting injured, but the team was good. The team was good, but we're going to be joined by a guest in just a second. He's just logging his way onto the stream. This is the worst transfer window in the history of ENIC. The worst. And me and this guy on the screen to the right of me, when the ownership... when the board changed earlier in the season, we all came out and we were going to be... We were very... open to change. We were willing to give them at least 2 transfer windows to say, show me what you've got. And they've actually done worse. They've done worse. So in the words of Graham Levine, bring me back my Levy. Even Arm of Graham said Levy in the other day.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he did it.
Okay, well, I'm going to be having words with him.
He did. He was here.
If
you watched my stream, Daigle, you would have heard it. It was quite funny. I don't think he actually meant it. I think he said it in jest.
Then that's exactly. How is everyone, and how has you been?
I'm doing good. I'm very tired. That's why I've got myself an espresso because I really need a bit of a punch in the face.
Well, I can say that's what your espressos do. I can vouch for that.
Indeed, well, that's what I need at the moment.
It's a lovely punch in the face. It's not a punch.
Indeed,
it's not.
We're not here to talk about. I say it at the beginning of the stream. I've put clickbait in my title because you've got all these people. I'm not naming names, but there are loads of them that put all the clickbait in the title, and they do stupid faces like this. Or say this is unreal, or this player's this 18-year-old kid this is why Tottenham signed an 18-year-old child from Edinburgh. This is why, like he's the second coming of the Jesus of Nazareth. That's how they're. No, we put clickbait, and be honest about your clickbait, everyone. Be honest. We all need a bit of YouTube money. I need some YouTube money to fund my new business, which, as I said yesterday, has a brand new roof, and that is not cheap. We've put in a brand new rubber roof into the new coffee shop, which we will get some videos very soon, hopefully, when things are a bit tidier and they've got through the majority of the nasty work. Then we can start putting a camera in and having a chat. But without further ado, it's been 7 minutes. This is our long monologue. This has been our long monologue. Let's see who's in the chat to take us through the show. We're going to try and chill. We might talk football. We might talk something else. I might just, I don't know, do what I want. We do what we want. We have Stu Boys in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Our first YouTube member clocking in for the day. We have Scott M. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're well.
Scott M was in there, and there's a couple of people. Barbaric joined at about 4 in. Thank you to everyone that joined Late Night Lillywhite. It will be back again Wednesday.
Remember, I know Barbaric is a UK based, isn't he? He's UK based.
I think Andrew Gregory was in there at one point. There's a few people that are in the chat that were there, so thank you for joining.
Let's see who's in the house. We've got Barbaric Disdain. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're well. Andrew Gregory, YouTube member. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're well. A Tavercrum Wembley one. We're all saying what we need to see. Colin Crossamano. Good to see you. Yes. Rejected. Indeed. The problem is they're running $1 billion company. I'm running a tiny business that can barely sell any coffee, but we're doing our best. I'm trying. We have Craig O'Sullivan from the Guardians of the Pombo. My man. Yes, we are. We are indeed. We have Daniel Sandoval. Good to see you. Hopefully you're well. I wouldn't even say you felt... I hate. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. I hate this culture that we've created on YouTube and in the world, that someone has to be right and everyone else has to be. It's just such a stupid. Because if you constantly say negativity, you're never going to be wrong. It's thick. I'm so, if anyone comes to me and says you're being horrible to me and you're just being overly positive and no, it's thick. It's thick to say, oh, I was wrong. Everyone's fucking wrong. You support Tottenham. You're wrong for supporting Tottenham in the first place because we don't fucking win anything. That means the only people that are right in football are people that support Manchester City, Chelsea, Man United for a very long time. Those Arsenal for a very long time. Those are the only people that were right because they supported a football club that wins and we support a football club that does shit. I hate this fucking culture that says, oh, I was right. Ooh, look how good, look how clever I am. I was right about something that really doesn't matter.
I love about to take off and fly action. That you
did. It's ridiculous. You're not. We didn't fall for it. They have lied. If we went into every relationship with a multi-billion-dollar empire or and thinking they're going to lie, we wouldn't have a life. You've got to have some level of trust in your life, of course. You can have a rant about this as well, Daigle. I don't think we're on the same page. I was right. They'll never do nothing. Well, how do you know? You don't work for them. How do you know? If you say it's going to be wrong, and you turn out and it turns out it's a win-win situation because if you say everything negative, you're always right, and if you get it wrong, your team has won a trophy, so you win. So we just need to normalize giving people a chance, and if they do it wrong again, you get criticism.
Yep,
and that's the way of the world. Let's see who else is in the chat. Daniel Sandoval, one love. James DXB79, good to see you. Ian Ferguson, good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're well. YouTube member. Angie's in the house. Good to see you. Oh no, please not Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, listen,
we're yelling about everything.
I joked with Alana and I said, darling, I do need to let you know if we sign Raheem Sterling, we might be packing my suitcase again because I might be going back to London.
No, you're not. I'm going to fly to camp. I'm going to do what my dad did, and he went to Australia for one day. I'm going to do the same thing to Canada, and I'm going to get both your passports, Aki.
Ben,
I'm going to get your passports.
Ben, I'm not
I'm packing them in my suitcase, and you will never see your passport again.
Ben, I was saying it in jest. I ain't coming. The only chance of me
You're
stepping
never coming back.
I don't plan to be back in England until June 2027, like I've said before, because it'll be my parents' please God golden anniversary, and the family will be doing something massive. The only chance you have of me being in London before June 2027 is if tragedy strikes. That's it. I don't want to be in England. I don't want to come to England.
I might rearrange your parents' golden jubilee to it being a Zoom meeting.
No, they actually had to zoom in for my wedding, mate. So I'm not doing that on their golden anniversary. I'll
send them to Tish in Belsize Park. They'll get over it. I'll send them to Tish in Belsize Park. If you know, you know. Big up Tish in Belsize Park.
Don't say that. Don't use that phrase. If you know, you know. That's only safe for the Luton lurker, the Luton loner.
If people don't know about Tish in Belsize Park, Akis, it's the perfectly right phrase.
Yeah, but what I will say, going back to what you was just saying, look, I put a tweet out yesterday, deliberately trying to see if people reacted to what I said, and my God, they did. And this is showing where our football club is. So after we signed James Wilson, who I must say, we all woke up on deadline day, and I think all collectively as a Spurs fan base, we said, you know what? We need that player from Hearts that no one has ever heard of, that can't even get in the Hearts team, to come to Spurs to answer our prayers. So I put a tweet out and said, you know what? We only have Dominic Solanke as our only fit, recognised striker. This is a crisis. What have we gone and done? We've gone and bought James Wilson, who now will go with Oliver Boast, and Mason Melia. We've got more strikers for our youth team than we do our actual first team. And I said, this is ridiculous. I said, he is our only recognised striker, Solanke. And people fell for the trap every time. They go, what are you talking about? We got Kolo Muani. And I said, I don't class Kolo.
He's not a striker.
Mate, do you know what? I said strikers score goals.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, but what about Matisse Tell? And I said, do you know what? I like Matisse Tell. Don't mind Matisse Tell, but he's a winger. He's a winger. And between Solanke, Tell and Muani, they have 5 goals for them this season.
You know what? I would rather you. I would rather you up front than Matisse Tell.
This is what I was doing. Like, they've got 5 goals between them this season. We've had strikers that would get 5 goals a month.
We had a striker that scored 5 goals in a game.
Mate, yeah. Well, and they're like, oh, bro, that was a bit harsh. We got Muani and Tell. And I'm like, as a Spurs fan, where people in this chat would have seen from Jimmy Greaves to Harry Kane, if you could have seen into the future when Harry Kane was there or whatever, and you said Solanke, Tell, Muani was Spurs' front 3, you'd be like, or striking options. Obviously, Richie's out injured, so I'm not classing him right now. There's not a single Spurs fan that'll go, do you know what, that's banging. That's a wicked, do you know what, that's going to get us out of trouble. But then I had, but he's come for the youth team. I was like, delighted, wonderful. And that means what to me precisely?
I said this on the Two Mark show this morning. And I want to move on from football because it's just going to make me miserable, and I'm just going to have a rant. I'm just going to have a rantathon, and we do have another guest coming on soon because he asked for the link. Spurs fans have normalised signing youth players that are not good enough, and they don't perform because, let's face it, guys, I'm not going to overly criticise them because they are youth players because they're young. That's not an excuse. If you're paying £2,400 a month, and this is going to be really harsh on the kid, but you'll see where I'm going with this. I really like Lucas Bergvall as an 18-year-old, but for £2,400 a year, that's what my season ticket costs. I want to see better players than Lucas Bergvall. He will be a good player for us in the long term. I'm sure of it. I really like him. I don't want to see Bergvall starting games of football at 18 years of old. I want to see proper players. When I was a kid, I had Robbie Keanes. I had Jermaine Defoe's. I had Luka Modric. We had Tom Huddleston's, Aaron Lennon.
Tommy, I loved it.
We had quality players. Quality for half the price.
Ben, I have to say, I've just realised that you were there on Sunday. You didn't get me any Jan Vertonghen footage.
You didn't ask for it.
Jan Vertonghen was at the stadium. What would you think I would want of all players?
Salt beef sandwich. I thought you'd want some latkes.
I said to Ben when I was on there yesterday, I said, Ben, how was Jan Vertonghen? Is he in good spirits and everything? And he went, I don't know, I went to the bar at half time, or I went somewhere at half time. I was like, oh, thanks. But I will say about everything you've just said, and no one knows this more than Craig. I speak to Craig pretty much every single day. Big up, Flower. Speak to Craig pretty much every
He's here to roast you. He's here to roast you. He's not here to have a lovely chat. He's going to roast you now for the next 20 minutes.
We can talk about a certain player that someone really, really likes. That fucks off to Inter Milan quicker than anything. But I'm going back to what I said. Craig knows well. I've got so far with YouTube as a whole, and it's why I'm heavily focusing on Late Night Lily-White, because I absolutely love that show. The quality of crowd we get in, the discussions we have. There's great banter. There's no trolling or abuse. The conversation could be anything and everything. It allows me to do what I need to do during the day here. I'll be coming on here when I can, and obviously we are Tottenham TV when I can. But I'm not making it a massive thing in my life anymore. Not Tottenham YouTube is everything. There's more to life. I'm so done with it. And this football club doesn't give you any reason to. You come on knowing, like you said, you know you're going to rant. You know you're going to be depressed. One thing I've inherited from Thomas Frank is when he came in, Thomas Frank said, after a match, win, lose or draw, I think about it for 24 hours, whether it be to celebrate a win or to reflect over a defeat, a performance, a draw, whatever. Then it's gone on to the next game. That's it, done. Whatever, mate. I literally am hardly watching any YouTube content apart from day before the game. Sorry, day of the game, and then I'm active where I can be. The same with the day after. Now, I don't give a fuck till we play Manchester United. Do not care. I won't watch anything. I might watch the We Are Tottenham TV update or whatever, but I'm like, nope. I'm going to do what I need to do in my life. And then come game day, I'm going to be the Spurs fan that I was as a kid. It's game day. You want to see that? Mate, it's not taking over my life anymore. I'm 47 years old in a couple of months, out of work, still living with my mother-in-law. And it's like, what the fuck am I doing in my life? I want to give Ilana the best life she could ever have. Be able to come over and see my nephews and niece or pay for them to come out here. I'm not going to do it on Spurs YouTube, getting wound up, getting trolled, fuck it.
Flower power. What has begrudged you to come back onto the show? What has begrudged you to come back on?
I enjoyed yesterday, to be fair. I agree with what Brian's saying there. To be honest, my love for Tottenham will always be my love for Tottenham. But I don't hate anything more than Tottenham right now either. I can't stand Tottenham. I can't stand the fans. I can't stand the club. I can't stand any of it. I hate the football stadium. I hate it all. I love Tottenham with everything. Like, it was the place where I kind of found escape growing up. And for me personally, I really hate it. And if you kind of stick up for a player or a manager, and then you are literally bombarded with hate for actually having a bit of belief or anything. It's the only thing in the world that if you believe something's good or could be good, you get slated so badly that it's not. I mean, I kind of took a back burner now, and I'll only actually go on a show if somebody kind of asks me, or I try to avoid Spurs hardcore debates now, because mate, I was getting things like 0-star reviews put on my business page. Like I was in arguments with Google because they're trying to kind of take down my business because of I liked Vicario. I mean, what the hell,
That's
man?
so unbelievable, isn't it?
It's mad.
It's what the hell. It's something that I love so much, and I have the balls to put my face on a camera when really I shouldn't be asked. You get things like that. You know, people have families behind the scenes and threats like that. It's just crazy for me. And to be honest, I used to really enjoy Spurs YouTube, like Brian was saying, towards a game, build up to a game, like after a game, and you kind of thrived onto the next thing. Now it's doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. You get 2-2 draw against Man City, doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. It's like, but if he would attack the first half, we could have won. Well, yeah, if like you could have a glass half empty, or you could say, bloody hell, a 2-2 against the second best team in the country ain't a bad bloody result. We have 11 or 12 injuries.
We've been saying it. I said at the beginning of the show in my rant, like people are so negative because it means they're always right. And I don't know. I heard this the other day. You learn nothing from success. You learn absolutely nothing from success. What you learn from is where you got it wrong. And yes, people are going to say, well, Spurs must learn all the time then because they're fucking failing constantly.
Walk into it. You did walk into that. You set yourself up.
But if you're constantly right and all you're doing is spouting like nonsense, if you're saying constant negativity all the time, you're never going to be right. You're never going to be wrong. You're never going to be wrong. But what do you learn from that?
Mate, I've got to say,
all I'm here for is to talk about football, have a bit of fun, have a chat with my mates.
That's what it is.
Hopefully earn a couple of quid.
That's what it is. James, I just got to say one thing. You said something that reminds me of something. People going onto your work with you, I mean, that's just big up, Bexy. Big up, brother.
Big up, Gary.
I've seen all these people that I see regularly, and I will be on your channel a bit more now because of the time and everything, Ben. But what you said about people going onto your thing because of Vicario or whatever it may be, I recently have got a brand new troller on the YouTube comments in We Are Tottenham TV that leaves comments after the show, not in the chat. He's been going, nothing like nasty, nothing like vile or anything, just don't agree with me, blah, blah, blah. Went on yesterday, and because Ben called me Daigle, he left a message going, wait a minute, are you Brian Daigle that used to hang out with blah, 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 lived in Cockfosters? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, oh, mate, I'm so sorry. I grew up with you. I'm so sorry. I know who you are, mate. I'm like, fuck me. See, you're saying all this shit about me, but now you know me from the 90s. All of a sudden, everything's forgiven. It's like, mate, it's wild. Even on Twitter, I used to be rampant. I was rampant during the deadline date. I put tweets out, and I'll reply to people that reply to my tweets. I don't go through Twitter to find people that I don't agree with and then go, oh, let me put this out because I don't agree. There's certain people that spend their lives on Twitter, and I do mean life. Like literally, Craig and I have seen there was a few guys we used to monitor, and some of them put out over 70 tweets a day. And that's in replies. I'm like, what's he doing? What's it? Mate, I want to think like James said, when we were young, I used to go to the game on a match day, go to that stadium. For 90 minutes, my troubles would disappear or anything going on in the outside world. Leave the game, go home. I only went to the Scotland Yard on Sunday so I could be with Toronto Spurs and be with all my family. That's what it is now. A social that is ruined by 90 minutes. It's a social that is ruined for the very reason we've actually got together.
Yes, it is. I've got some people to say hello to because I've got to say hello. I've got to say hello to Jason Bell. Good to see her. Good to see Gary Becks. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see Nacho Slayer. Good to see you, buddy.
Can I just say something to Nacho Slayer very, very quickly? Because I said it to him in Sav's chat last week on the day I was flying, but I don't know if he saw the comment. He said to me, which I was very disappointed at, he said, I might not be in Toronto this year because it looks like the Maple Leafs won't make the playoffs. And I was like, how fucking dare you, mate? Don't come for the Maple Leafs. Come for the nachos at the Yard, brother.
Yeah, indeed.
It's World Cup summer. fuck what the Maple Leafs do, mate. Get your ass over to Toronto. Come and show everyone how to eat. Mate, this guy polished off a bowl of nachos that literally Bobby K, his 2 kids, and the table, because them 3 can't finish it. Then Bobby gives it out to the table. It's a struggle to finish it. He did it in 1 half of football.
Big up to the Nacho Slayer.
On his own. I was like, you're not going to finish that. He absolutely slammed it down. Come for
Big
the
up to
nachos,
him.
bro. Not for the Leafs. Come for the nachos.
And good to see Lee Wizzy as well. Good to see a buddy. Hopefully, you're well. Good to see everyone in the house. They don't do a bowl big enough for nachos for me. Big up nachos. I do love some nachos.
There you go, buddy. Then you have to get it.
But I'm not here for a long time because of all my illnesses, So let's have a good time. Let's enjoy it. If it's a bit crap, we have a laugh about it.
I think the only thing we can agree on is that Popeye's chicken is crap. Wait, Brian. In fairness.
How many Popeye venues have you been to?
Well, this is what I was just about to say to you. In fairness, we are going back to America in May, and I actually said to my wife, we have to do a Popeyes at a different venue. If it's crap, I'm going to keep the receipt and send it to Brian Daigle.
You could do it, but I have to say, as much as I love Popeyes, I've told this story before that Popeyes for me is so much better than KFC. Everything back home, fried chicken is like a massive staple here, as people will know in North America. Anyway, it's like a massive deal. Ilana saw this thing where it was the top fried chicken venues considered in Canada. Popeyes was 2, and then there was a restaurant. There was one above them called Mary Brown's. We tried Mary Brown's, and I now have, for every Popeyes I have about 15 or 20 Mary Brown's. So I'm much more a Mary Brown's. If you said this about Mary Brown's, I would try and teleport myself into your van, and then we'd have it
It's
out.
like we're going to Mary Brown's.
I will say,
Mary Brown's.
I will say,
Is there one in Orlando? Is there one in Orlando?
What Mary Brown's or Popeyes?
Mary Brown's.
I'll find out for you, bro. I'll find out. I will find out for you. But
I
I
will
will
be
say,
the judge.
since I'd been home, or when I was in England, the only fried chicken I had was me, Ryan, and his brother Miles did a hot wing sauce, hot sauce thing, and instead of them cooking wings, Miles and I went and picked up 12 hot wings from KFC. I had 2 of them, but Ilana made me homemade fried chicken last night, and I've still got 4 pieces to finish. And like I said, my wife
My mum makes a good fried chicken as
my
well.
wife went to culinary school, and as much as I love my mum's cooking, she has to cook it not bland, but my dad doesn't like pepper, he doesn't like spices, so it's salt. There's not like it's seasoned. Don't get me wrong, my mum's cooking is banging. But
so basically, your dad has got the flavour palette of beige.
Mate, no, look, but my dad, my dad, he'll eat meat, potatoes. The only vegetables he'll eat are raw carrot, raw cucumber, raw lettuce. Or sorry, you know what I mean? Not cooked.
Cucumber's a fruit, mate.
You know what I mean? That's the only mate. Don't get pedantic with me.
Your dad sounds like my kind of guy.
He won't have any vegetables. He is so picky. But Ilana, my God, culinary trained, cooks with spice. Oh, mate, my wife's cooking. I'm a very lucky man.
Have you had Wingstop?
I have a Chick-fil-A, mate. Chick-fil-A, there is one at Yorkdale, which is the shopping centre nearest me. Every time you go there, there's a huge queue. There's something, but the thing is, I went to
it's very overrated.
Yeah, but I actually went there one day. Every time we go there, I keep going, I've got to try Chick-fil-A, I've got to try. But then when there wasn't actually a queue, I saw it was all like chicken strips and chicken nuggets. There was no like fried chicken, like thigh. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, it's like a chicken burger, chicken.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that. I need my thighs, my leg. You know what I mean? I'm a dark meat man. I'm not getting chicken. I'm not queuing to get chicken goddamn nuggets.
So Wingstop is a little bit like that. They do wings, but they're not like southern fried. They're just fried, which are quite nice. And then they do like boneless wings, which are like southern fried. and then they do like chicken nuggets, chicken burgers. But it's actually a good quality
mate,
chicken.
Factory. Ho, 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 ho.
There's actually a Wingstop under where Mickey works. There's a Wingstop under where Mickey
Mate.
works.
Have you had it, Ben?
No, I've never had it. I want to
you
try
should-
it.
Yeah, it's
No,
nice.
no,
It is nice.
You two may have tried it in America. You two may have tried it in America. And if anyone in the chat has tried, let me know what you think. When we were last in Yorkdale, before I went back to England, there used to be a restaurant, but they gutted it. And I keep hearing people talk about on TV shows, and I need to try it. They've opened a Sonic Burger. And apparently everyone is raving about Sonic Burger. I've never tried them.
So
Apparently
I had
it's quite
Sonic.
good.
I had Sonic, but it was dreadful. For one, it was dreadful.
really?
But
Oh,
it was
it?
right on
Popeyes are
it.
dreadful,
Yeah,
so
it was. It was probably the worst food I had in America, to be honest. Like below Popeyes. But in fairness,
You went
It
to
was
some bad,
on, like-
didn't you?
it was on like a crossing, so not the greatest sort of like location. There was no one in there. The staff were really poor. So I wonder if it's just one that, because it's not very busy, it's just kind of neglected. But it wasn't nice at all, to be honest. And that's literally opposite the world's biggest McDonald's. It's like literally directly across it. So I wonder if everyone goes to there and no one goes to the Sonic place because it was rubbish. So
Mate,
it is, again,
you know what I tried the other day, and I was like, that is like, I think this is the best chain in the UK at the moment, and I could be wrong. The best chain in the UK at the moment is Honest Burgers. I think Honest Burgers. I think
not had
Honest
it.
Burgers is excellent. I was there the other day. I went and saw my uncle. My uncle's been having chemotherapy in Euston. He's got blood cancer. And I went and we were like, I wanted to go to a place called Rudy's Pizza, which is another chain, which is apparently fantastic, which I need to see. You could smell the pizza place from 5 minutes down the road. That's how good it smelled. But we couldn't get in there. It was rammed. And it was like, let's go at Honest Burgers. And all I had was not plain, but I had a regular single smashed burger. It was fucking delicious. It was everything I wanted in a burger. The burger was juicy. It had American cheese. It had onions in it, and it had a brown butter mustard mayo. It was delicious. It was buttery.
In the
It was
UK,
crispy.
yeah.
It was salt. It was perfect.
This is what YouTube should be. This is what YouTube should be.
Yes, I have to say, from what I'm getting for you, whenever you go to America, you've had the poorest Popeyes, the poorest Sonic Burgers. I do honestly, and it could be because you're near Disney and everything, and everyone knows it's the. You know what I mean? It's not like you go here to the local ones.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it though, Brian. I'm gonna say it.
Be careful.
Food in Florida sucks.
Oh, there you go.
I disagree. I disagree.
The only good meal the only like European, I'm not going to say it's because I've had some lovely meals in San Francisco. I had some lovely meals in New York. The only really good meal I would compare it to a European stuff. I went to Wolfgang Puck's at Disney Springs. I thought that was very, very good. That was very good. The rest of the food sucked.
I disagree. There was a few places for me, and to be fair, it was the places I thought were going to be crap were actually quite good. So Wendy's for me, the one in Orlando was just unbelievably good. Chili's, fantastic. That was so nice, and the mozzarella dip in Chili's is just to die for. And the other one, I think it's called, is it Gideon's Pizza? That was unbelievable. And they did the I don't know what they're called. Is it like Chicago town pies where all the toppings and stuff are underneath and the sauce is on the top? Oh, that was incredible. So I disagree. There was a couple of places that
all the Americans are agreeing. The Americans in the chat are agreeing with me, though. Flower power. So there's something in there. But big up for mentioning Rick. I love Rick Stein's seafood. I'll just say I'm a big fan of Rick Stein in general.
I will say as well, even whenever anyone's come out here, Toronto's food scene is very, very good.
I enjoyed it.
Loved it. You enjoyed it. The food is actually, and what's so different when you're coming from England is obviously the quality of the meat or protein, everything is so much better and fresher. The portion sizes are on another planet, and the prices compare. If you were to base the same, if you went and got a meal at the Keg, which is like the biggest steak chain, I would say in Canada, from my knowledge. Scott may be able to tell a different one. For the price you pay for it here, if you had that exact same meal back home, you're at least doubling the price.
Remember, there's a lot more red meat in North America than there is in Europe. Europe is a lot more poultry-based, fish-based, because we are a lamb-based as well. We do love our lamb. We are, although we have this argument all the time. Unless it's like 10 out of 10, I really can't stand lamb unless it's really good quality.
Mate, the best. I could not go without lamb.
We are a seafaring poultry nation in the UK. We do have some really good grass, but it's going to be the top tier. Anything below the top tier is not going to be it, but there are some good steakhouses here in the UK. One of the places I'm desperate to go to and subscribe to their YouTube channel, because I think this is one of the best food YouTube channels. You probably all know it, but I'm going to say it. The Fallow YouTube channel, the Fallow Boys, their restaurant is exceptional. They run an amazing YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to Fallow. It's a great watch. They're brilliant.
I will say, if you're picking up a YouTube channel, first of all, I just try to pick up.
I can't actually eat steak out in a restaurant anymore. I actually can't. I think it's
when you
terrible.
come to Toronto, I'll take you to the Keg. Ian, you need to get back to Toronto. We need to have our oyster date that I couldn't come to because I was ill. We need to have our oyster date. But does anyone on YouTube have they heard of or watch a guy called Richard Sales?
No.
So there's a guy called Richard Sales. He's got over 5 million subscribers. I only watch his shorts. He does about 5, 6, 7 shorts a day. And he's one of those guys that just sit in the corner and review the video. It is a guaranteed, however many shorts he does a day, it's a guaranteed 5 minutes of laughter, 4 minutes of laughter, 8 minutes of laughter. He is one of the funniest guys. Simon watches him. Yeah. Richard Sales is one of the funniest guys. And he has a few people. He has a few people that rage bait him. He's got a chef, and there's this one chef who cooks from home. But with whatever he's doing, let's just say he acts inappropriately during his cooking. He does sexual stuff, or what you would assume as sexual stuff. No graphic on it, but it's just hysterical. Everyone should watch Richard Sales. It's a guaranteed 5 minutes of laughter a day. Or there's the Irish guy, Garen. Garen is hysterical, but Richard Sales, everyone should watch Richard Sales. If the whole world watched Richard Sales, the world will be a brighter place because he's hysterical.
Okay. But subscribe to everyone we've just mentioned, especially the Fallow. But I'll send Fallow guys. If you've never watched the restaurant Fallow on their YouTube page, they are as a reason their restaurant is the most talked about restaurant in London at the moment. It is the most talked about. It's the most exciting. People love it.
I'd never even heard of it until you mentioned it.
It's serious. I reckon Ilana has probably seen some videos about Fallow. They're
cooking. Ilana has seen it.
They are going places. Those two boys, they're going places. Great restaurant, and I'd love to go at some point. But
the dream for me and Ilana is to open up a B&B. Ilana would do all the cooking. I'll be front of house, all the cut. Mate, that was always been, I keep dreaming of it right by Niagara Falls. Mate, you saw what it's like around Niagara Falls area, Ben. All the B&Bs as you're coming up. Mate, if I had a B&B and Niagara Falls was just outside, mate, I would have died and gone to heaven.
Niagara on the Water's not that far from you, Brian.
Say again?
Niagara on the Water's not too far from you.
Mate, how beautiful was that place?
Not bad.
Mate, it was stunning. It was stunning.
Here's a question. I've been to Budapest, and they've got some very good food there. They've got some bizarre food, but they've also got some... Budapest is a very good eating city. That's a very good... They've quality... I love Budapest. I think that's a really, really interesting... I really liked Budapest. So, yes, there's loads of good places there.
Let me just respond to Active One. I think the show is still going. One of the Ilana and I had our first breakfast as a married couple in a place around the corner from the Scotland Yard. It's called Le Petit Déjeuner. They are known for their eggs Benedict. and they've got about 80 different versions, or not 80, but a vast amounts of different versions of Egg Benedicts. Every time we go there, I have it, but it was on that show, and it is packed every shit, like the queues, even in the winter, to get into this place. It's a great show.
I've seen this. You can't do that. You can't. That's illegal. That is illegal. You can't do that.
No. It would be like, like if you're in the Masons, it would be like in the very, very, very small print.
What's he going to do? A handshake under your arm?
No. If I put someone in and they start talking,
breaking news, everyone! Brian Daigle kisses a turkey's bottom.
No. What I would have done is literally, if I got to when I'm out here and I get in an Uber or I get anywhere, if they hear my accent, guaranteed, I'm sure it happens to all English people around the world. If you're English and you're in a different country and they hear your accent and pick it up, within 4 questions they'll ask, "Do you watch the Premier League or do you watch your football team?"
Most people think
people have said to me, and I'm checking them in. They go, "Hey, you're from England, mate. What team do you support?" I would then say, "Who do you support?" And based on who they said, I may reflect the pricing. I would be like, if you said Tottenham, "Oh, mate, you're Tottenham. All right, we're going to give you a free upgrade or something." And if you're a Gooner,
membership, memberships, but you have to be a Spurs fan to get a membership. Like,
if you're a Gooner, you're going to stay in like the cleaning closet, or I keep giving you wake up calls at like 2 a.m. in the morning.
You can't do that, Brian.
Yeah, that's a great review. Yeah. People. You know what? There's some people that on the internet, if I did ever open it, they'd go back to this stream and blast it on social media. Look what Daigle said X amount of years ago.
You can't do this. You have to be regulated by an authority. This is not gonna work.
As Judge George, as Sylvain said, I am the law in my own B&B.
Interesting topic though. What would you have do, Ben, if you could? Like, obviously, his dream was to be open like a B&B. What would yours be?
It's just to have a bigger coffee roastery. Just to have a successful coffee roastery. That's all I want.
That's like, yeah, okay, fair. That's like your dream job.
It's just going to be difficult. It is difficult to run a small bit. I've never really wanted to do anything else in my life. It's not like Mickey's dream was to be a professional rally driver because she loved rallying. She loved rallying.
I don't know. Do you know the big question to ask? Let's pretend that financially you're okay in life. Not you're a multi-millionaire, but you're not broke or whatever.
Yeah.
If you said wherever you are in the world now, and you and your wife or your partner, whatever, is retired, where would be your dream destination? Forget the medical stuff is good there, or the bet. If you could see out the rest of your life in happiness, relaxed, you've done all your work, you've retired, you could retire anywhere in the world. And like I said, money no object. Like I said, you're not going to be slumming it, but you're not going to be penthouse and. Where for me,
that's my one. That's my one out the window, then, because you have to have a penthouse to be there.
No, but no, you know what I mean, Ben. I mean, for me, it's Mauritius. Mauritius is my dream destination. Still haven't been there. I love the ocean. When I was a kid, my next door neighbour, who went to the same school as me, her mum was Irish, her dad was Mauritian. She was stunningly beautiful, stunningly. I mean, that's not a combination you hear very often. But all around his house, he had beautiful pictures of like the Mauritian beaches and all the. I've never wanted a Mary Poppins moment where I can jump into a picture more than Mauritius. So for me, Mauritius, without a doubt. What about you two?
It'd either be Courchevel, because I love Courchevel. I love my skiing. Anywhere on the French Alps where I can go skiing and have a good time skiing. Love the food in France. Or it'd be the Tuscan Hills. I'd love to live in like the Tuscan countryside. I love Tuscany. I love Italy. You could retire very, very nicely in Tuscany. Flower power.
Before James answers, I just realised I've been watching this video, and behind us, I've just kept seeing this guy walk through there and then walk into that sauna-looking place and just disappear and never come anywhere. Where's he gone? Oh, there he is. There he is. He's come back out. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. I keep seeing him go in, but he never comes out. I'm like, is it Narnia?
Yes.
There he is. He's coming back.
No, he isn't. Not yet.
Yeah, he was. He just went back in.
There he is.
by James's head. Look by James's head.
There he is. He's there now.
He keeps walking
Right,
out.
flower power. Where is your dream?
So
There he is.
it's difficult for me because I'm quite a browser, if you like. I like to just sort of walk around. I like to do lots of nothing. So I've been to some beautiful countries. Rhodes was beautiful. I mean, I love Egypt for the ocean. That was beautiful. But to be honest, if I'm thinking of actually living, I think I would go America. Personally, I think that.
After you said Greece, Santorini, but can we just please pay attention to this guy? Look at the guy. He's now walking out. He's now by the code. He's like, oh no, I best go back in. What is he doing with his life?
Yours is different to mine. He's not there.
He's fixing ski gear, Brian. He's on a ski resort.
I've got my own story.
We've got to read this super chat. I've got to read.
Narnia exists, and it's wherever Ben was there.
I've got to read this super chat. Big up to you, Michael Hellman. Big up to you, sir, for the $5 super chat saying ENIC 2.0 is the worst, best marketing in recent times. The fans wanted to believe, and we are met with the usual insult in a new packaging. Come on, you Spurs. Big up to you, Michael Hellman. You're absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. We're going to move on because there's nothing to say about that. You've said it. You're correct. Correct. Greece right now or anywhere in the Caribbean. Well, I'd love to live in America. I love America. There is no. I'm one of my happiest is when I couldn't live in America because of my health. That you could say, oh, what if your health's good? My health will never be good, Brian. It's never been good from the day I was 1 to the day I'm 30. My health's never.
But you'd have healthcare and stuff, no? Why wouldn't you?
I would not on my salary, not with me being.
No, but Brian didn't say that though. Brian said like you can go out there and live the life you wanted.
Yeah, you go out there. Like I said, it's not you live the life you want. I'm not saying you're going out there a bottomless pit of money.
No,
but you go out there comfortably.
You would need a bottomless pit of money with all the medication I need.
No, but Ben, I'm taking all that nonsense out. Everything like that, you're sorted.
That's part of me, Brian.
No, I know that, Ben. But when I say you're going to go there and live comfortably, that's including medical. That's including.
Okay.
So I'm not saying you're going there. You're going to have to scrimp and save and walk the financial tightrope. You can go anywhere in the world. You can't go and eat in like 3 Michelin star restaurants every single day. But you go there and you're never going to want or not have money to do what you want. Mate, I'd love to do Mauritius.
Well, the thing is as well,
I can't stop watching the
as well, yeah. The thing is as well, with somewhere like America, with somewhere like America, you have a bit of everything. You can go to sort of like deserts. You got the heat. You got your New York. You got San Francisco. You've got Miami, Florida. Again, that would be another reason why. I mean, sharing some of my plans next year. Me and my wife have been together 20 years. Believe it or not, how young I look. 20 years. And we had a massive. I mean, Brian, we had a massive kind of issue this year. Yep. So next year we're planning something big as such. So hopefully, I mean, she doesn't watch this, so we'll be safe. But we're kind of looking at booking one-way flights to California and then finishing in New York and flying back. So what we're going to try and do is buy like an RV, a motorhome, literally start one side of the country, zigzag all the way through, and then finish in America, in New York, and fly back home. So hopefully, if sort of plans go to plans, then that would be amazing because you start warm, go cold, go Texas, which is really hot, down, up, down. So that would be amazing to see. And then I feel like you'd have a better picture in America. So I feel like whenever we go, it's like, oh, I've only been
there
once.
Is no doubt.
There is no doubt.
Part of, I'd love to put a picture. I'd need to find it. One of the most beautiful places I've ever been is is in the north of California. It's called Camino, California. And for those that know history, that's where the gold rush started. So we went to this lovely river in the north of California, and it was like very beautiful. If you've ever seen Homeward Bound with the 2 dogs and the cats, big up, Michael.
Oh no, yeah, I know.
Big up. I love that film. I love Homeward Bound, the first one. That's sort of old school kind of loads of trees, beautiful rivers, and it was just like a normal river. But the beauty of it, my brother threw a stone in the river. it went in the water, and suddenly the river became gold because that's how much gold is in that river still. That's where the gold rush started. It was just stunningly beautiful. And look, California is a beautiful place. Of course, every place has its own problems. California, they get problems every time. If you've ever watched Star Trek, they have problems every 2 minutes. So
it's like LA. California's problem is LA.
well, no, San Francisco is pretty bad as well sometimes.
Yeah.
San Francisco can be pretty bad as well. But I love the north of California. It is so beautiful there. Would I live there? No. I love America. I don't think I'd ever live there. Would I live in Canada? No. As much as I really enjoyed I could only see myself living somewhere like Italy, where you go into your local town, you've got your pizzeria, you've got your coffee shop, you've got your bread place, you've got your ice. I love that about Italy, that you go to I hate that everything is all businesses now have to be all in one. One place has to sell everything. That's not the same in Italy. One place, Greece as well, and parts of Spain and parts of France are like this. You go to this for your coffee, you go this for your bread place, you go this for your wine, you go this for this. And then you just meet everyone in the local area. Yeah. Locality is everything to me. So I want a place like somewhere in Tuscany where I get to, instead of going to go to a Tesco and get everything, I go to about 17 different businesses. That's what I want to, that's where I want to be.
You know what? I just want to reply to Kate's comment that I'm going to bring up right now. Kate, I hope you're good. Listen, when it comes to Toronto and Canada, don't get me wrong. It is bloody cold in winter. It is bloody, like I said, I came back to minus 24, minus 27. It's been extreme. It's been extreme. Places like Scott M, or you go to Winnipeg, which is nicknamed Winterpeg. Winters are even what they make our winters look like nothing. But what I will say, compared to back home, this country is built to get you through winter. Like the cars, the roads are fine, everything. And you get 3 months of shit. You just know, period. It may not be as brutal as what we're having now. Last winter we had 2 weeks of like minus 20, and that was it in one hit. And then the rest was easily bearable. Apart from these 3 months, the weather here all year round is better than home. The summer and springs are incredible. Obviously, the summers have got hot back home. Autumn is lovely. Stell was here in late October, early November. You were here in October, Ben, weren't you?
Yeah.
The weather was
you went to Disney World recently, didn't you, Brian? You went to Disney World recently.
Go and meet up with the nephews and niece, but Ilana and I couldn't get there.
Oh, okay. James knows it then. Like, one of the reasons I adore Canada so much is because of the Canada ride at Disney World. I don't know if you've been on it, James, but it's one of my favourite things about the Disney World part of Epcot. The Canada ride gets me emotional. I absolutely love the Canada movie.
What was it? I can't remember.
It's a movie. You got the standing up benches and you got the screens all around you.
And what's the movie about?
It's about Canada. So all the different parts of Canada, the forests.
Oh, no, I don't think I've seen it. I don't think
You're
I've
going to have to watch it. I absolutely love it. I love the Canada movie. For anyone that's been to Epcot, the Canada movie is phenomenal.
There was a ride in America, and I don't know what it was called, but you basically sat down in these chairs, and there's almost like a 360-degree screen, and it kind of started in like 1950 or whatever it is, the year, and then they started taking the mick out of the future, saying, yeah, we're going to be able to listen to music when we're walking around on the streets, and everyone was like, what are you talking about? You're so full of crap. And then it would turn around to like 1980s, and they've all got boom boxes. Then it goes, soon we'll be able to listen to our own music without everybody. Then it went to like 1990s, and they had headphones, and it went on and on and on and on. But it was so cool to see where we started.
Look at that. That's a lovely pause, isn't it?
He's not talking about the Carousel of Progress, is he? No, he's not.
Yeah, it might be. It might be, actually.
I do love the Carousel of Progress, but very different. The Carousel of Progress is great.
I love that because it was just the
Like,
insight to how people would have thought.
it goes to the start of the 20th century and all the things they don't have. Then you go, yeah, you're talking about the carousel of progress.
Yeah, they were like, soon we're about to get in a car and drive around. They were like, what are you on about? Like, we walk everywhere.
You can go from a train from New York to LA in just 7 days.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Big up the carousel of progress.
I have a question, a random question.
Yeah.
Would you go back or forward, like in like future or past? So you could pick a time to go back or go forward, but it has to be like minimum of like 50 years. It can't be back like 10 years. It has to go like 100 years or forward 100 years.
To live in the past?
Not to live, but to experience. So if you wanted to go back to see World War II, you could go back and see how they were living in World War II, or go forward 300 years and see how they're living in 300 years. What would you pick? And what era?
It'd be the 60s. It'd be the 60s. The 60s, the music, the Beatles, the Who. There was something that was very special about that decade of 1960 to 1970. That decade of music, Hendrix, and they sort of the shackles being lifted off. Not corporatism, but it went from the start of the 60s. Everyone was wearing very thin suits, and at the end of it, it was flower power and colours and everything. That shift from like no group. Of course, that would be great as well, seeing Spurs win the league. But I wasn't even talking about that. But that also helps them. If you look at the Beatles from the start of the 60s to the Beatles at the end of the 60s, that polarized flip shows you everything you need to know about the 60s. The moon landing, that excitement, the excitement that people had. We've now gone to, and people are going to be like, oh, that didn't happen because we're conspiracy theorists and they have to question absolutely everything, despite the fact it's idiotic.
Oh God, Ben, you finished. I thought you finished.
That excitement when Neil Armstrong walked on the moon, that excitement of this is what humanity can do. And I think humanity needs to start doing that again. I think humanity is constantly trying to say, this is what we can't do. I think we need to start looking at ourselves. This is what we can do. Because humanity, for all our problems, can do some extraordinary things. And we need to go back to that excitement of discovery. It's basically Star Trek. I love Star Trek.
Mate, I have to say there's a couple of things. First of all, the only reason I'd want to go forward is to see how my nephews and niece are doing. But I'd obviously want to see how Tottenham are doing, like someone said, like Mark said about winning the league. No, in our life, we'll go forward 300 years and it's still ENIC. It's just a great grandchildren. And I couldn't risk it. But whenever I ask this question, James, and it will strike a chord with you, I would always go back to any decade when my grandpa was alive.
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
Any decade. I only got the one grandpa. My dad's dad died before my mum got married to my dad. I would go back to any decade just to spend 5 minutes with my grandpa, the greatest man to walk this planet. Anything. But I will say, when you mentioned the Beatles, if there's anything I'd love to go and do, it would be, do you remember that movie Yesterdays?
Yes.
Where the guy walked up and he's the only guy in the world that knew all the Beatles songs. No one had heard. Mate, could you imagine? I think a question going on for that, would you rather have the sports book from Back to the Future 2 where you knew all the sport results, so you won all those bets? Or
I don't want a sports almanac.
Or would you want to wake up and be like the only guy that knew the Beatles or Michael Jackson ever existed in all of his songs? Mate,
we've had that conversation.
Yeah,
as much as I enjoy Michael Jackson's music, I'm not like if there's going to be 5 artists that I've got to save for the rest of my life, Michael Jackson isn't one of them.
Michael Jackson's the first for me, the very first, without even. But I'm saying, if
for
you
me,
it may not be your favorite artist, Ben, but if you were to wake up one morning and no one had heard of any of his music, but it would have the success that it did, Michael Jackson would be at the top of the list for many people. Forget whether you liked him or not, what his music reached and everything. If you woke up tomorrow and no one had heard of the Jackson 5 or Michael Jackson,
it wouldn't really change my life, to be honest.
It changed the world. May not change
Yeah, it
your
changed
life.
the world. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, but I can only think of me.
mate.
Well, yeah,
So
but
you're telling
within
me if I
reason.
said to you tomorrow,
Like, if you
I
told
said-
me,
oh, well, Ben, let me ask
what would you what would you say is Michael Jackson? Like, Man in the Mirror is probably my favorite.
my favorite Michael Jackson song. But I'm saying to you, Ben, if I said to you tomorrow, you could wake up with the entire catalogue of everything Michael Jackson has done in his life. You're the only one that knows it, and you can go on and do that. You'd be like, I'm
I
taking
don't
that.
have the talent. I wouldn't have the talent to be able to do that.
No,
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 but it's
but I'm saying that you
hypothetical,
do
though,
Have the
isn't it?
talent. That's
Look.
the reason he was so good. Like, that's the reason he was a very
Yes,
talented
like
individual.
yesterday's, mate. Like yesterday's. The guy woke up. He weren't as good as Paul McCartney, John Lennon, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison, but no one had heard of any of it.
No, but that's the difference between Michael Jackson and with Michael Jackson. The reason he's so big is because of him. Anyone can pick up a guitar and learn the Beatles. Anyone. That's the beauty of the Beatles. That's why
I disagree. I disagree.
That's why I think the Beatles.
You're going to.
Although I would say the Beatles are probably not the greatest band of all time, although I think the Beatles are the most influential band of all time. I think the Beatles, what happened, because the Beatles didn't just go to America. They invaded America.
So
They
what I would say to that question is, for me, I would go similar to you, Brian. But I would go back to like the 40s and 50s because I would love to experience some of the stuff that my granddad experienced, like
the night out with
when he met. When he met my nan, they would go, get together, dancing shoes on, and go for a dance, like go to a hall in the evening for Friday night and go dancing. Like that for me, it's just epic. It's just like I can imagine everyone being happy, right? We're going dancing tonight. Basics, no electrics, no nothing. And for me, when it comes to music, the one artist I would sort of save or pick would be Buddy Holly again, but purely because of my
phenomenal.
Because of my granddad.
But again, the reason why I know this is a different conversation. The reason the Beatles were so good is because they were obsessed. They weren't just interested in Buddy Holly; they were obsessed with him because he was. I mean, it's a completely different. Buddy Holly was very unique. He was sort of the first guy that really, because Buddy Holly didn't become big until 1954 on the Ed Sullivan Show. He was the first man to use a Fender Stratocaster, but he played a Fender Stratocaster like he would play an acoustic. He was exceptional. But the Beatles were that good because they studied Buddy Holly and how good Buddy Holly was. The alternate picking, the big strumming. Buddy Holly was a genius.
See, I mean, James has gone for Buddy Holly. Me, I learned to dance with my grandma, like when it come up to family functions and everything, to Frank Sinatra.
Love Frank Sinatra.
When it comes to Frank Sinatra, my grandma had every single video, every single album, every single book, every single thing Frank Sinatra. So one of my very final moments with my grandparents, I remember. Do you remember Robbie Williams did the Royal Albert Hall and started singing? I watched that with my grandparents. My grandparents were in their late 80s at the time. My grandma was standing up and down having a bop, like having a little boogie down to. I was like, mate, but I had to bring one comment up because James, I agree with you and I disagree with you. The Beatles are the greatest band. Fact. Soloists. If you gave me Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson head to head, Michael Jackson by a million miles.
What about somebody like Queen? If you're talking
the Beatles are far more influential. I love Queen.
Queen are incredible. Queen are brilliant.
The Beatles are far better. I'm sorry, this is going to be very controversial here. The Beatles are far better than Queen. I don't
think you can say that because they're completely different. Like they're completely different.
No, but Queen can't exist without the Beatles. Queen can't exist without the Beatles.
You're looking in it way too far. It's too political.
Yeah, but you've really deep this. You have really,
you can't. the Beatles could be the Beatles in any era. That's why they were so good.
No, I don't think they could.
Because
Because the Beatles couldn't be the Beatles without Buddy Holly. You just said that.
No, but the Beatles, what they did was they went past the rock and rolly thing, and they went into that pop era. They went into that sort of borderline. A lot of people say the birth of heavy metal was Paperback Writer, so they went much heavier. They also went a bit more. They went a bit more distorted. The Beatles were so good because they were so wide, and then you've got things like Yesterday. You've got Goodbye. You've got the Long and Winding Road and the orchestral stuff.
I wouldn't say the Beatles are more influential than a lot of people, because influential is based on opinion. So for me, the Beatles didn't affect me more than Michael Jackson did. There'd be certain people that the Beatles didn't infect more than Elvis. Let's get it right. Elvis, the king of swing. He started that whole hip shake, the leg, the rock and roll with the girls. He started that whole thing. So the Beatles, okay, they may be the biggest band, but when it comes to like actually having an influence on people, I don't think you can say anyone's bigger than anybody, because there would be people that say 50 Cent is a bigger influence than the Beatles or Michael Jackson. So I think everybody has an influence in different areas, and for me, the Beatles were great.
It's really interesting because you talk about that.
I'm going to say to you, maybe we'll do this on the show. I'll get my dad to come on, because we're all having this lovely conversation, and I mean this from the bottom. I'm not messing about when I say this. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. My dad will come on, tell the story, and tell all the stories about the Beatles. If it hadn't been for my nan's brother, my dad's mum, her brother or her uncle, there would be no Beatles. There would be no Beatles, and I'm being deadly serious here.
It's
without the Daigles, because I'm not just saying that. I'm genuinely. I'll get my dad to come on. Before they got sold to Brian Epstein or whoever it was, the very first manager the Beatles ever had when they started getting traction was my nan's brother or uncle, one of the two. My dad has a photo of all the Beatles around their house. They got a signed picture of them where my dad's had two sisters. They both did pass away now, but my dad is lying across all the Beatles, and Ringo Starr pretending to play the drums on my dad's arse. Must have been that, I can't remember. Very, very young, under 10. And it's To the Daigles with All Our Love Always from all of them. I'll try and work out when Dad's health is better, and he'll come on and tell all the stories.
But
it's incredible.
What's beautiful about influence in music, and to go past a lot of people underrated. A lot of people think this guy is the bee's knees, and a lot of people don't think he. It's unbelievable. There's a guitarist on YouTube that started using that. He is a lot of people are now coming to the front of music that are heavily influenced by Prince. It's the amount of people that are pulling Prince-style guitar solos, and you think that style of music is gone, and it was gone 20 years. No, its influence is so good because it comes back. And the fact that now that Prince is finally getting the I hate when people say I'll give him his flowers. People need to be listening to Prince. Prince was a genius. The man played 14 instruments. The man could no one will be able to do what Prince did at a Super Bowl. He was about to do Purple Rain, and it starts bucketing with rain, and the lights. They put the lights up in the air, and the rain becomes purple, and he pulls a guitar solo, Purple Rain in Purple Rain. No one can do that but Prince.
But that's what I mean.
That's Purple Rain.
But that's what.
Michael Jackson sang Speed Demon. He didn't get a Lamborghini going 300 miles down the Super Bowl.
No, but Prince is the man. Prince.
This is why I love music, because quite frankly I actually don't even like Prince. I think he's average.
Prince was brilliant.
No, but Prince was a genius.
He's average. That's why I love music though. He was okay, and I do listen to some of his music, but he wasn't for me. He didn't influence me in any way, shape, or form to be like, yes, this guy. Michael Jackson did, Elvis did, Buddy Holly did. there are so many that did that may not do other people. Same with Beatles. Beatles didn't really for me. They didn't really do anything for me. Wasn't a big topic in my household. Like I said, it was more the Buddy Holly era, to be fair.
And well, Elvis was the first guy that really mainstreamed. He was the first guy that brought into white people's households black music, and that's not black people music in terms of the blues, all that influence.
I'll see you later, everyone.
See you later, Aki.
Take care, Brian. Nice to talk to you, mate. Nice to talk to you.
Everyone have a good one. Ta-da.
And
as always, ENIC out.
Brilliant stuff. In that era of white people were not allowed to listen to what they called black people music. They weren't allowed to listen to the blues, the people like the BB Kings of the world.
Yeah.
Elvis brought that in and said, listen here. This is unbelievable. You should be listening to it because it is the best. He's the one that married. He's a lot of people, because there were people like Eddie Cochran, people like Eddie Cochran and Buddy Holly. People say this was rock and roll. No, this is rockabilly. Elvis was the first real guy that married rockabilly, blues, and gospel. He was really the foundation of that rock and roll. There are, of course, still people now.
Yeah,
exactly. What Elvis did of marrying those three different types of music, exceptional. It's exceptional what he did.
Yeah, and I think that's what's good about music, isn't it? Like we said, I mean, I don't like proper hardcore rock, you know, like Slipknot and stuff, but that is so instrumental to different people.
Sure.
And I think that's what's so good about music, is the one thing that defines all of us, but it also brings us together, almost like a bit like sport, but there's no hate.
You can't be wrong when it comes to music, except with rap music. Rap music sucks. I'll always say that.
I like rap music.
Rap music sucks. I'm sorry. It's just not for me. You're not wrong, but you're not right either. But the problem is, I love AC/DC, and I will say AC/DC are in my top 5 bands. I adore AC/DC because of, again, AC/DC is a callback to the 1950s of because Angus Young was obsessed with Chuck Berry. He was obsessed with him, and this sort of the 1970s, the 1970s, and bringing back traditional rock and roll, loud guitars, big amplifiers, small stages.
Yeah. I'm so 50. I actually like every bit of music. I think there's something in everybody that I like. For me, the main bands kind of growing up, I didn't listen to a lot other than really old music. And then when I did start to get into sort of bands, it was more like Fall Out Boy, Linkin Park, that kind of era. Than sort of like your old school stuff. So it was a bit like different. I like, but I do like everything, even like rap. Like some of the rap stuff, if you actually listen to some of the words, if they're actually talented, then it's actually really good music. Yeah. If they're just crap, I mean, for me, I know a lot of people like Drake and stuff, and for me, that's just nonsense. It's just talking gibberish. None of it's real. Yeah, so for me, but if you was to go back to the old school Eminem or old school Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, there was more meaning to it all. Tupac, Biggie, there was quite a lot of meaning to things like that. So I don't mind that.
It was explaining their life, and now it's just some Kendrick Lamar stuff. Very interesting. Not for me. Just not for me. We're all made up of music in a way, because we're all like Elton John. I put Elton John up there. I love Elton John's music.
Can't stand him. I think his music's so bad.
I love Elton John. I think,
and that's what's good. And that's what I love about music. Like for me, can't stand Elton John. I just find it so boring.
massive influence though on a lot of people. Massive influence. I was talking. One of my favorite songs of all time is "Funeral for a Friend," and people will be like, 13 minutes long. I can't listen to a song that's 30. No, I will listen. Like
same as Bohemian Rhapsody, isn't it? That was a really long, like for the radios and stuff. That was really long. I've got to go pick up Little Man again, mate. 3:20.
Cheers, Flower Power. I'm gonna wrap the show up in a sec anyway. But
thank you for having me.
As always, we always have a good chat.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I think I'm going to focus more on actually enjoying my chats rather than Tottenham.
Oh, for sure. That's what we got to do.
Take care, mate.
Cheers, Flower Power.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. And on that note, everyone, we're on our own, but we are going to wrap the show up there because we've actually got to try and do some work, but my labels haven't arrived. So thank you all for enjoying this music. Thank you all for having a great chat today and having a good laugh, because that's what we're trying to do here at Coffee Company. But thank you all so much for watching today's show. We will be back tomorrow, the usual time. Oh, what's one album I could listen to for the rest of you? Very difficult, because it changes every 5 minutes. What I listen to is so bizarre, because was for a long while in my rock and roll era, but I'm back into my while I would consider the basic of my music is rock and roll. I'm back into listening to country. There's some great since I got the car. The only radio station I listen to is Smooth Country. So I love my country music again. There's been some great country music recently. So there isn't one because it changes so often. But thank you all so much for watching today's show. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. And as always, like and subscribe. And as always, if you're someone, what the cough is. Ella Langley is excellent. Lainey Wilson's excellent. Luke Combs is excellent. There's some good country stars. There are some good ones. I'm sorry. There are some good ones now. There are some really good ones. And as always, ciao for now.
A little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned where I had sometimes played chess. Then when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score. So I dream of